Right.
Some of the stuff they were coming at, like microphone head.
So when you guys are creating characters for Robot Chicken or Supermansion, does the voice actor come first or the character?
Character always. Yeah. Yeah, character always. I was going to see if there was one that wasn't. But yeah, it always starts with what's going to be good for the story. I mean, it's even for Supermansion versus Robot, it's story first and then character.
Okay, sorry, that's fucking that's terrible. My face.
Would you disagree with that?
No, I think that's right. And then that's the fun, is trying to say, well, who? Because a lot of times you'll write it and you'll think, well, what does this person sound like, And then and then the actor always comes in and brings their own spin to it. And
like Jillian Bell is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Like she plays our Lex on the show, and she had a voice in the script, but it was like it just wasn't funny enough until she came in, and like she just
made everything funny. And then that's so good, because then when you go back to write more of that character, you have a voice in your head, and so the actors do help you write your characters after a while, because of what they've added to it.
So all of you work on Supermansion and Robot Chicken. How does writing and acting on the two shows help or hinder each other? Like gags don't carry over, or coming up with new voices for new characters?
Robot is a sketch comedy show, so it's Fast and Furious in that way. And then, Supermansion, you actually have to think about a story, and you have to build characters that are going to evolve over a long period of time. So I think that's the very big difference. It's like watching SNL versus, 30 Rock is a good example for it. But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest difference.
Yeah, Robot Chicken, the writer is they do their own thing, they write their sketch, and when you see a sketch, one writer usually wrote that. And with Supermansion, we all have to get in a room and bat these ideas around to make sure that they all make sense for an entire season, and that's hard for one person to do, so Supermansion is more of a team effort.
I'm wondering what it's like to attend C2E2 on the other side of the room where you're the actual creators, because I'm just, especially with the show like Supermansion that now has had 2 seasons and immense success and fans here, so what is that like?
The good thing for us is we can blend in and just wander around. I mean, this is probably my 20th year doing conventions, so so it's always a blast. You wander around. You see all the people that you've known for this whole period of time. Like last night, you're hanging out at the bar, catching up with people you haven't seen in 15 years or whatever it might be, and it's a blast. It's a blast. For him, I can't.
I love it. I think it's so much fun. Honestly, it sounds silly to say like, no, you get to meet the fans, but the truth is the Robot Chicken fans and the Robot Chicken writers are the same people. It's the same people. So it's not much different from going to work, which I love doing at Robot. But it's so much fun. We were just in at WonderCon, and there was a guy, who was he dressed as?
Black Saturn.
Dressed as Black Saturn.
And that was pretty cool.
I should know that. He was dressed as Black Saturn, and we were in a room, and WonderCon's not as big as San Diego and not as big as New York and stuff like that. And this guy was head to toe. It wasn't like he just wore a T-shirt with a thing on it. He made a full costume. We've had the robot, we've had the mad scientist, we've had a lot of the characters. Every time it is super exciting and super sweet that they do that. It makes you feel great about the show.
Yeah,
it really
feels
does.
really good.
And it's this amazing thing of with movies and stuff, like whatever. If I walk out in the street and someone knows them for road trip, they're not dressed as Josh from road trip. You know what I mean? So the dedication that the fans have, which is why Robot's been on for 9 years, is more. Yeah, it's so amazing and it's so much fun. It really is like, a lot of times press is a pain in the ass to do, whether it's you got to travel somewhere and you're in a hotel with the doors closed. Like, here we get to do it on the floor, and here we get to do it with. It's I can't say. I mean, you know what? It's that fucking drink in my head.
Yeah, let's get on board.
I'll just stop talking.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, I'm sweaty and stuff.
I really hope Breckin is doing okay after the whole monster, the mutant drink. Now, I gotta say, I used to drink that stuff. I used to drink the red mutant drink, like, all the time, until I was like, fuck it, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had it before. I didn't know. I thought it was maybe, what is it? It's like Monster, right? With like a different marketing campaign.
Yeah, it's kind of trying to be like a Surge / like Volt / Joke Cola type of a thing.
Yeah, no.
Like instead of an energy drink, it's the energy soda.
Mm.
You know, that's what it was trying to be.
Nah.
But great interview with all three of those guys. They were really good, really nice. I loved hearing the comic book talk with Zeb Wells and Matthew Senreich.
Yeah, for sure.
Old school comic book fans. We found out how hot that room was, and it didn't get any better the next day when we went.
No. It was terrible. I would like to say that everybody there, despite the heat, was very nice. And like it could have put the heat in that room, but everybody stayed cool, and everybody was really nice. And thanks to all the other interviewers that were there for letting us use their footage,
yeah,
or their voices, or their whatever we're going to use.
Yeah, and what was interesting is this next day, which is these are the interviews you're going to hear next. Is we got invited to the press room for the new Warner Brothers movie, Daphne and Velma. This is a story surrounding the girls, Daphne and Velma, and no dog, no Shaggy, nothing like that. It's just Daphne and Velma.
Yeah, see, I originally thought that they had a some sort of origin of the mystery team, but apparently they didn't, which I found out by asking. But I thought it was like some kind of retcon of how they put the team together. But apparently it's a kind of a standalone Daphne Velma thing. But possibly will lead to a series of movies in this series.
Yes. And what's really so we walk in there, and literally our table was the exact same people as the day before. Like because we sat with each other the day before for the Supermansion interviews, it was kind of like let's just sit together again because we liked each other's questions and we liked how it flowed. We did add Danielle Ortiz from The Culturists. She joined us. Everybody else was still there. I want to say Hannah was there, and I want to say it was Garrick. If not, it was James. One of the two was with us. I will get that right in the text. Don't worry.
Yeah, we met a lot of the fellow press there, and they were all very, very cool and nice to us.
Yeah. So the first interview you're going to hear is us with Peter Girardi and Alexandra Davis. Peter Girardi is the Executive Vice President of Alternative Programming for Warner Brothers Animation and Blue Ribbon Content. And Alexandra Davis is the Blue Ribbon Content Vice President of Developmental and Production.
Yeah, he was also on Saul of the Mole Men.
Yeah,
like he was an actor on Saul of the Mole Men. I checked it. I thought he was familiar from somewhere, and I was like, I've seen this guy somewhere. But he was on Saul of the Mole Men apparently.
And he's worked on Scooby-Doo things for a long time, like the Mystery, like Mystery Inc. What's Cool?
Like all the latest stuff, like the newer Scooby-Doo stuff.
Some of the movies, yeah. So, let's go to that interview and hear how the executives brought this idea to life.
Okay. Well, I thought Deerfield because he has an office in Northbrook and got it. So this is not what I thought we were going to be talking about.
I mean, we could talk about it all day long.
Yeah.
My doctor too. My doctor's name is Dr. Shot.
Dr. Shot.
Pretty great name for being a doctor.
You had to be a doctor or a bartender. There were no other options.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that wasn't the reason.
No.
Oh,
That we know of. It's,
All right.
Wow.
Let's get in it.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're do you want to start?
Yeah, how do you guys want
I think we can start down there.
You go ahead.
Yeah.
Start, Pete.
So nice in Chicago. No one wants to go first.
Wait till you
And
get
this
to Chicago traffic, right?
Yeah, oh, man.
Can you just announce your names though for the microphone?
Yeah, I'm Alex Davis from Blue Ribbon Content.
And I'm Peter Girardi from Blue Ribbon Content.
Thank you.
I would say my first question is this sort of a kind of a retcon origin of Daphne and Velma, how they got together? It's a little bit different than how we know the Mystery Inc. having got together before.
It's not so much of a retcon because it's never been conned, really, of how the girls met.
Right.
Mystery Incorporated, we know how they all met.
Right.
Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, Scooby, Freddy. But not so much because the boys came as a unit and the girls came as a unit.
Right.
So kind of we're saying this is the way that the girls got together. I also work at Warner Brothers Animation, so I've done a lot of Scooby through the years. Mystery Incorporated, Be Cool Scooby-Doo, Get a Clue Scooby-Doo, all of the movies that we do. So we do a lot in the Scooby-verse, let's say. We've introduced their parents. In the Mystery Incorporated animated series, they were actually, Shaggy and Velma had a little bit of a relationship, and Freddy and Daphne had a little bit of a relationship. Scooby, not so much. So we've explored a lot of it, but when we decided to go live action, one of the things that we knew that Alice and I talked about was no dog. Because once you bring the dog in, it's a different kind of project.
Yep.
And then will you talk about having the girls?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of our priorities was giving these characters a little bit more of a voice than they had. In the Scooby series, it's Scooby and it's the boys. The girls never really had a voice and a voice together. So it was our priority to bring them together and show what a realistic female friendship looks like for girls on this age. Give them the ability to lead the charge, show them doing what they do best, which is sometimes overshadowed by the dog in the original.
Yeah, once you put a talking dog in something, it kind of by default becomes the star. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to escape that orbit of the talking dog.
Yeah.
And I'll just start off. Mystery Inc. is one of my favorite incarnations. I think it should have kept going because it was just so good. And with this, you're going to get we get to see kind of the evolution of their friendship, and we get to see their love of mysteries, because in the original series, Daphne was usually the damsel that got captured, and Velma lost her glasses every episode. So how does it feel bringing them to the forefront, bringing that these girls do have this love of mystery and can hold their own in a world of Freddy's and Shaggy's and the talking dog?
I mean, I think they can more than just hold their own. They can lead the charge. Women are resourceful people in general, and it's great to show these with the two girls.
Yeah, I mean, Scooby has been on the air continuously in some form since 1969. One of the things that we tried to do is keep evolving it, and then never lose what's core about it. Mystery Inc., we pushed it pretty far out, and it rubber banded back a little bit. And then we did another series called Be Cool Scooby-Doo, which we changed the look and feel, and from the original Iwo Takamoto designs to a much funner, more cartoony look. And it's a very flexible universe because the characters are so great, but we wanted to kind of evolve the characters and put in a contemporary setting, and specifically, like Alex said, give the girls more agency.
Yeah, we didn't want Daphne to be that classic damsel in distress. What you'll see in this movie is she comes to the table as a mystery solver before the story starts. She is solving mysteries. She's not a damsel in distress. She is in charge of her own life and pushing it forward and throws herself into everything, with all of her heart. And sometimes that will lead to disasters and mistakes, but she's not going to wait for someone to solve it for her. She's doing it herself, and that's a really important element to the character that we wanted to show.
Since you talked about it evolving, and because the girls are at the forefront, did you pull from other inspirations outside of Scooby-Doo as source material? Or what did you look for as you created this incarnation?
Yeah, we had a lot of reference, it has a little bit of an X-Files-y kind of vibe to it. We wanted to, because once you put it in live action, we didn't want to have the it's Captain Cutler and all of that. Yeah, we wanted to ground it a little bit more. So we had a lot of one of the things we looked at a lot, believe it or not, was a lot of David Fincher. You know, and
Okay.
we really, I mean, it's not that dark.
Yeah.
Because it's for kids. But we did look at it that way because it inherits a